Hello and welcome to a Planetary Annihilation tutorial, and I'm going to talk about probably the most important concept in the game, which is spending your economy efficiently. So if we look here, our commander has an income of 20 metal a second and 2,000 energy a second. When we have him build, he loses 10 metal a second and only gains us 2,000 or 250. That just simply means that while he's building, he's using his build power, and he has more build power than he does metal income. So he spends 30 metal a second for 750 power. Now compare that to a vehicle factory, or it spends 15 metal a second for 675 power. That is actually more efficient than a commander. And if we just mouse over here, bot factories, it's the same for bot factories and air factories. Now we're gonna take a look here and see how fast the vehicle fab builds. 11 metal for 700. We have the second most efficient fabricator being, well, not taking into account naval fabbers, since there is no naval on a lava map, but 8 metal for 600. So that's not too bad, but once we get to air fabs, we start looking at 9 metal for 800. Not ideal. For 1 extra metal, we're paying 200 extra power. That's not so good. So, different fabs have different purposes. Air fabs, you send them out to take remote metal spots, right? Vehicle fabs you use for big projects. Bot fabs are kind of like air fabs, but not so much. They're more to get there quickly, because vehicle fabs move slower than bot fabs, and air fabs just will generally get there quicker than any other fab. Now, once we get to T2, we'll be looking at T2 vehicle fab. We can find one that we built. T2 vehicle fab builds 60 metal a second for 2250. An air fab builds 54 metal a second for that same cost. And a advanced bot fab spends 45 metal for 1800. So not quite as efficient as we'd like, but doing the math in my head here, if in theory an advanced fab built 60 metal a second, it would be for 2400. So probably our best bet would be, I would say, oh god, my brain, would be the vehicle fab, or the advanced vehicle fab. But with the advent of Titans, we actually have a unit called the Colonel, which builds a whopping 80 metal a second for 2500. That's efficiency. Number porn! Almost like we're playing a 4X game. And then, just as a little thing, we're gonna see how fast an orbital factory builds and how fast and how efficient it is. So an orbital factory builds 30 metal a second for 1,000. That's actually even better than a T1 factory. Can't argue with that. But it's not always a good idea to go orbital on a single planet system. So an orbital fab can build pretty much any Titan and it builds 45 metal a second for 1500. And if we remember correctly, a advanced bot fab builds 45 metal a second for 1800. So slightly more efficient than that, but I'm going to show you why. Well, I'm going to try to show you why it's important to be using more efficient builders. Because if I were to have these, let me just find all these air fabs. I have 73 air fabs here. When I put these all to work, we're probably going to be positive in income once we run out of energy. Now, let's shut off our factories. See, if we put all of our income into these air fabs, we're actually spending less metal because of how inefficient they are. Because we'll be limited, like when we hit 0 on this, on our energy income, we're actually going to be spending less metal. Because we're limited to how much energy, or how much metal we can spend by how much energy we have. This is very important. I hope that having this being pointed out to you kind of gives you a firmer grasp on the economy in the game. Feel free to ask questions in the comments, and thank you so very much for watching.